Whatever I feel like.
You will?
Oh!
You get in front of my face?
Call the police.
Oh!
If I have to shoot you, I will. Don't make me shoot you.
It's not shove if you're flying 5 feet back. He was definitely trying to prove some point by getting physical.
Get on the ground now!
I'm a federal agent.
917-103.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground!
New tonight, state police arrested an FBI agent assigned in New Orleans on numerous sexual misconduct charges. State police received a complaint on 51-year-old David Harris back in February involving multiple victims across several jurisdictions across the state.
When we hear of corruption in law enforcement, we immediately think of politicians and perhaps cops. But can you imagine an agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation or the FBI, which is seen by many as the stronghold of integrity, to be as corrupt as they come? Surprised? Just wait till you hear about these 4 real-world cases and see what happens when an FBI agent steps on the wrong side of the law. Kicking off today's episode is this rather disgraced video from Chevy Chase justice by taking the law into his own hands.
Whatever I feel like.
You will?
Oh!
You get in front of my face?
Call the police.
Oh!
If I have to shoot you, I will. Don't make me shoot you.
The video stars FBI agent Gerald Ruggiero, who is a 20-year FBI veteran and serves as a chief in the FBI's counterterrorism division. The whole incident started as a simple custody handoff of a toddler. Gerald, his fiancée, and their friend, who was later identified as the child's mother, had been waiting for the child's father to show up with the child. Edward Moawad, the child's father, was running a bit too late, something Gerald didn't take lightly, and immediately started berating him upon his arrival.
You can come over here. You're already 2 hours late.
Sorry, who are you?
You already introduced yourself last time. You don't need to worry about that.
I'm sorry, I'm her father.
Yeah, I understand that. But you're 2 hours late, right?
If you come close to me, I'll call the police.
Call the police. Call right now. Call the police right now if you
I'm
want
her
to.
father. I have every right to her. There's no court order. She is my child. Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Right from the outset of their interaction, Gerald's demeanor towards Edward seemed pretty aggressive. The condescending tone, the walk-up. Seems like a guy who was itching for a conflict and wanted to escalate the situation, even after Edward made it very clear that he was the child's father, and that whatever the situation was, it was between him and his ex-wife.
You don't want to problem. You don't want a problem with me. Trust me. Trust me. You don't want a problem.
You can
Let's call police. Yeah, let's call police. I really want to see.
What happened? Why are you so freaking...
Let's call police.
No, call the police. You said you want to call the police. Call them.
What
Call
is
them
going
right
on
now.
here?
Call them.
Right now.
He's disrespectful.
How?
He's disrespectful. Because if you're going to be late, out of courtesy, if you know you're going to be late, why don't you tell her, hey, I'm going to be late?
I did. I told her.
No,
this.
you called
I
it not. You called after 9 o'clock.
Listen,
If you knew you were going to be late, it is
Listen,
my business.
who
Because she's
are
a friend
you?
of mine.
Thank
Who are
So
you?
it is my
Who
business.
are
I
you?
just told you who I am.
That's
I'm a
not
friend of
my
her. Who are
business.
you?
Your
I'm
friend.
his future wife.
Okay, well, I'm a friend of her, and my
I'm sorry about
my
that.
fiance is a friend of hers.
Okay, fine.
So
Fuck.
After handing their baby to his ex-wife, Edward began to walk out, but looks like our Gerald here wasn't done with him, and started goading him into another tense conversation. Seeing the drama, they are approached by Gerald's fiancée and her 15-year-old son Alex at the door, with Alex asking Gerald what the problem was. Of course, that pissed Gerald off. After all, how dare a kid could question him? Edward tried to reason with Gerald and conveyed to him that he did inform about being late, but instead Gerald began arguing with Edward's fiancée and even threatened to arrest her.
Listen,
don't act stupid.
your future husband knows you're a short
It is my problem.
How's your
I'm
problem?
making an issue of it. I
Your
don't know what.
problem?
puta de mierda.
Someone suggested you don't
Piece
get
of shit!
Whatever I feel like.
You will? You
Oh!
get in front of my face?
Call the police.
Oh!
Call the police.
Right now.
Call the police.
You're under arrest.
Alex!
If I have to shoot you, I will.
Call the
Don't make me
police.
shoot you.
Call the police.
Call the police.
Call the
Tell them to
police.
come here.
You already got the police.
Get on the ground.
Hey!
Get
He's
on
a
the ground.
minor, don't fuck!
Don't touch it! You don't touch it! Hey! Hey!
Get on the ground.
Get
Get on the ground.
Don't touch him! Don't touch
Don't
him!
fucking touch me!
Hey,
Don't touch
hey!
him!
Get on the
Don't
ground.
touch, don't touch.
Get on the ground.
All right,
Get on the
all right,
ground.
this is a
On the ground now.
Don't touch.
Laurel, call the police.
Call the police right now!
Get on the ground.
All right.
Did you see that, folks? With Gerald's actions and threats like if I have to shoot you, I will, it's not hard to guess what kind of law enforcement officer we are dealing with here. Yup, Just another officer who thinks that just because he has a gun and a badge, he can get away with anything.
You're going to jail too. Assault on a federal officer.
No.
You struck me. You struck me.
No, you're
There's
hurting
cameras
my
here.
son.
There's
You're
struck.
hurting my son. You're hurting my son. You're hurting my son.
Call the police.
You're
Tell
an
them to
attorney.
come.
You're an attorney.
That's what you wanted? Okay. That's what you wanted? Good. Good. I'm glad that's what you wanted. He got in my space and he threatened me. There's cameras here. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm in my capacity 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. So you want to put your hands on me? You want to threaten me?
Now, Gerald can be repeatedly heard saying here how members of Edward's family tried to assault him, and that's an offense as he is an officer of the law. But what was later revealed during the investigation, and can be also heard in footage by Edward's fiancée, is that he never identified himself as an FBI agent or any law enforcement officer beforehand. So getting attacked or seeing a member of your family in trouble, it's only natural that a person will react.
Don't move.
Don't move, my legs don't move.
She assaulted me too.
I didn't
Okay, I'm gonna
assault
see what's going on here. Everybody stay here.
assault anybody.
Alright, I'm out with the subjects now. I'm not sure what's going on yet. I got one subject laid on the ground here, but I'm here. So, okay, you're an officer, right?
I'm FBI.
FBI agent, okay.
So this is what transpired tonight. I'm here in the apartment with my girlfriend, who is a friend of a gentleman who she's estranged from.
Okay.
He's supposed to drop the baby off. They have an arrangement to drop the baby. He's supposed to drop the baby off at 9 o'clock. Apparently, there's been some history with them. I don't know. I can't speak to what the history's been, but it's been between him and his estranged wife.
Him and his estranged wife?
This is
son of
This
son
is
of
my
this is
son.
her son.
We were coming from
What
a
do they
birthday
have?
party.
I have no
Today
idea
she's
other
turning
than
1 year old.
I was talking to
The little
the
girl-
estranged husband.
The little girl is turning 1 year old.
He threatened me. The husband threatened me, and then he came up and told me, "I'll kick your ass."
No, he didn't say that.
Oh yes, he did.
That's a lie,
Well,
officer.
Sadly, that's all the footage available to us, and you won't be able to hear any more of Gerald's lies. However, that's not where this case ends. After Edward's family took the matter to court, Gerald was found guilty of second-degree assault. Although initially he was also charged with a more serious first-degree assault count and a gun charge, however, after a serious deliberation, the jury suggested that Gerald had acted illegally, only to a point when he improperly shoved the teenager. After the teenager got to his feet and he and Gerald began wrestling, the agent was well within his rights to pull a gun out of his ankle holster, point it at the teen, and order him to the ground. Gerald could have received up to 10 years in prison, but at his sentencing, the judge waived all jail time.
FBI agent Gerald Rogero claims he acted in self-defense when he thrust a 15-year-old boy to the pavement during a 2014 off-duty domestic altercation. In October, a jury found Rogero guilty of second-degree assault, but today, at his sentencing, a judge waived all jail time. Rogero could have received up to 10 years in prison.
Instead, he was put on probation for 2 years, and the judge also ordered him to take an anger management course and imposed probation before judgment, which means that if Gerald abides by the terms of his probation, the case will go away completely.
I think he learned his lesson. I think he just got away free. That's what he thinks right now.
As per Alex, Gerald was so violent that during the whole incident, he ended up with a broken wrist and internal bleeding. To Alex's amusement, Gerald also apologized for shoving him after the sentencing.
It's not shove if you're flying 5 feet back. He was definitely trying to prove some point by getting physical.
Well, we couldn't agree more with Alex, and props to him for standing up against such corrupt and power-trippy officials. But power-trippy officials like Gerald are everywhere, and chances are every law enforcement agency has these bad apples. In our next case, let's see how 2 such officials from the Columbus Police Department misused their badge against not just any ordinary civilian, but an ATF agent who was subjected to such cruelty that he had no choice but to file a lawsuit against them. But before we proceed further, please hit the like button and show some appreciation, as YouTube won't, for posting such hard-hitting content. On July 7, 2020, James Burke, a 16-year veteran of the ATF, was dispatched to a home on the 3300 block of Edgebrook Drive near Dublin, Ohio, to confiscate a non-permissible shotgun from a resident. However, upon arrival, the resident refused to grant him entry and called 911. Being familiar with this whole verification process due to his long career, Burke decided to just wait patiently for the cops to show up so he could explain the whole thing. But what happened next was something Burke would have never imagined in his wildest dreams.
Hey, turn around. Let me see your hands. Turn around. Let me see your hands. Okay, let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground.
What's your deal?
Get on the ground now.
I'm a federal agent.
Sensing extreme hostility from the officer, Burke outright refused to follow the cop's order to drop to the ground. Maybe being a federal agent, Burke thought he didn't have to obey orders from a local police officer, turning the whole situation into an authority standoff alteration. Needless to say, things just went downhill from here.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
You didn't ask for it. You're the one who overreacted.
I'm not overreacting. We got a call that someone's impersonating a police officer out here and doesn't have ID.
No kidding, because she doesn't want to open it.
Okay, get on the ground so I can find out who you are.
It ain't happening.
Okay, fine. Fine. Do you think I'm a police officer or something? What the heck's the matter with you? Who do you think you are? Get on the ground.
I'm not getting on the ground.
Chopper things.
I'm not getting
9170, I'm pulling up.
I got my ID.
Do not reach for your waist. Keep your hands up.
Dude, why would I have an Olay shit?
Get your hands up.
Surprised at the officer's behavior, Burke tried his best to show his identity to him to defuse the situation. However, the officer was in no mood to listen and continued to keep his gun drawn. Just when the matter couldn't get any worse for Burke, suddenly the backup officer arrived at the scene and started displaying a similar aggression towards him.
Sir! Don't argue! Face down! On the ground! Face down now! Face down!
You guys are making a big mistake.
Fine, we'll settle that second. Settle that.
Burke had no choice but to comply with the officer's demands, who kept their firearms drawn at him for over 90 seconds before they very aggressively placed him under arrest.
All the way. You got my IDs right here, left pocket. Left pocket.
And we're gonna put your arm on your back.
Wait a sec.
Do not resist.
I'm not resisting.
You're acting like a moron.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Don't do this. Wait a second. I got a medical condition. Get my license out of my pocket.
We're getting you secured first.
Please, wait. No. Hold on. I'm hyperventilating. Please, sir. I'm not.
Stop resisting.
Would you please get my ID out of my left pocket?
Stop
I'm
resisting.
begging you. My wife's right. Please. It's right here. Please get it.
I got one cuff on. Get your
help me up. Just hold me up. Sir, I can't do this. Sir!
Stop resisting now!
Please help.
Don't footage like this make you wonder whether these are men sworn to protect us or just bullies in uniforms? Apart from the uncalled aggression, these cops left no stone unturned in bullying Burke and even decided to repeatedly use a taser on him despite him being face down on the ground and not putting any resistance.
Get your taser out, my taser. Get your taser out. Get your taser out, Jill.
No, don't do that, please.
Please, just fine.
Ow, don't do that. Okay. Here.
Get him cuffed. Get him cuffed.
It is cuffed.
Get him cuffed. Get him cuffed.
In pain, a poor Burke continued to tell the officers that he was not a suspect, but an ATF agent out on a case, and his ID was in his back pocket. The officers did check his ID, but surprisingly, even after the confirmation, they continued with the arrest and put him in the back of the patrol vehicle.
Why would you make us do this?
I didn't want you to. I wanted to. Wait.
No, you knew what you were doing.
Sir, calm down.
Relax.
Sir, hey, guys, please, just talk to me for 1 second, please.
Get in the car.
No,
we'll
wait.
talk later.
Sir, wait.
You had your chance.
No, I was trying to give you my creds. You didn't let me show them to you.
Never once tried.
I did.
Get in the car.
Wait.
Now.
Have a seat. Please, wait. I gotta breathe.
Okay,
please, sir, let me breathe.
Sit down and breathe.
Let me breathe. I have a medical condition.
We're gonna get air to you. Get your legs in. Get your legs in. We're closing this door.
The cops then forced Burke into the vehicle, ignoring all his pleas and explanations regarding his medical condition. After about an hour, Burke was released without any charges. Later, Burke decided to file a civil lawsuit against the Columbus Police Department and the 2 officers involved in the accident, accusing them of use of excessive force and unlawful arrest. It was also reported that the trauma had such an impact on Burke on both physical and psychological levels that he has since moved to an administrative role within ATF instead of field work. The latest update we have is from February this year, where a United States court declared that the force used by the officers was excessive and in violation of state law and Burke's rights under the Fourth Amendment. Our next case takes us to Lafayette, California, where a senior FBI special agent named Babak Brumand was found guilty of conspiring to accept at least $150,000 in cash bribes and other items of value in exchange for providing sensitive law enforcement information to a corrupt lawyer with ties to Armenian organized crime. Brumand served as an FBI special agent from January 1999 until his career was cut short in 2018 after search warrants were served on his home and businesses. He was responsible for national security investigations and was assigned to the FBI field office in San Francisco. As per the prosecutors, during his corrupt scheme, which started in early 2015 and lasted until December 2018, Brumand accepted cash, checks, private jet flights, a Ducati motorcycle, hotel stays, escorts, meals, and other items of value from an organized crime-linked attorney identified as one Edgar Sargsyan. Apparently, the two men were introduced at a Beverly Hills cigar club, and after noticing Brumand's expensive taste and affinity for a lavish lifestyle, Edgar saw it as an excellent opportunity to recruit Brumand. Soon after, Edgar started paying Brumand approximately $10,000 a month for information and protection, which Brumand more than willingly accepted. For example, one of the first demands of Edgar from Brumand was to search for his name in the FBI database and to defuse any further law enforcement interest in him. Then he asked Brumand to query the FBI database for Levon Termenjian, an Armenian organized mafia leader for whom Edgar had worked. Later in 2020, Termenjian was convicted in a Utah federal court of involvement in a $1 billion fraud scheme involving renewable fuel tax credits and was later sentenced to 40 years. Authorities also reported that in December 2015, Brumand searched a confidential FBI database for information about Sam Sarkis Solakian, a medical imaging company CEO. Sarkis was under investigation for defrauding the state of California of $250 million in workers' compensation claims, not to mention that all the cash and check bribes he received were then funneled into accounts for a Lafayette-based lice removal hair salon called Love Bugs LLC that Brumand and his wife owned. However, things took a tragic turn for him when he came under a cloud of suspicion by the FBI for repeatedly accessing the FBI case files on Termenjian. After an internal investigation took place, Brumand was arrested near his home in California's Bay Area and was found guilty of 1 count of conspiracy, 2 counts of bribery of a public official, and 1 count of monetary transactions in property derived from specified unlawful activity. The same jury also found him guilty of corruption and bribery, convened in a separate trial centered on a $2 million Lake Tahoe house, which federal prosecutors said was purchased in part by bribe money. For his crimes, Brumand was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison in February 2023. In addition to the prison sentence, the judge also ordered him to pay a $30,000 fine and to forfeit $132,309 linked to his criminal activity. Speaking of public safety, let's get on with our final case where a Louisiana FBI agent betrayed his badge by doing something truly unimaginable. David Lee Harris, an FBI agent from Louisiana, who was arrested in June 2021 for a string of sexual assault and related charges involving several victims dating back to 2016. He lived in Prairieville and worked out of the FBI's New Orleans field office. What's even more shocking is the fact that, in addition to his position with the FBI, Harris also worked as a colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, a position he earned after decades of military service, starting with his 1992 graduation from West Point. His most recent assignment for the FBI focused on investigating crimes against children, including child pornography and other online crimes. Harris's crimes were first exposed in February 2021 after the Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General received a complaint letter from the father of one of Harris's victims. As per the letter, Harris exposed himself to the man's daughter as well as another girl from Tyler, Texas several times, and he was only able to find out about the whole incident after accidentally finding a letter between his wife and Harris, which talked about their affair and the exposure incidents. An investigation was launched by the IG and included sheriff's departments in Florida, Texas, and Louisiana, which were later shocked to know the depth of the agent's crimes. According to Louisiana State Police, Harris has outstanding warrants in Orleans Parish for sexual battery and attempted third-degree rape and warrants in East Baton Rouge Parish for aggravated crimes against nature, indecent behavior with juveniles, obscenity, and witness intimidation. Harris is currently in jail in Louisiana and is facing a series of criminal charges across the 3 states for his heinous crimes. He is held without bond as a judge in Ascension. Parrish saw him as a threat to the public. Well, there's no arguing in that. Once the Ascension case is resolved, Harris will face additional charges in East Baton Rouge and Orleans Parish, as well as in Tyler, Texas. Rumor has it that there's still an ongoing investigation in Florida. With the case still running in court, it's hard to comment on Harris's future, but rest assured it will be quite some time before this predator is released back into society. Thanks for watching the video, folks. Please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, and we will catch you in the next one.